This is the mothership. I call it like that because it keeps producing vampire crabs. The other day I counted 10 babies out in the open, which means that there's another alleged 30 hiding. I gotta catch them all and put them in a separate tank. And it can't be the nursery, because the nursery is already full of hungry teenagers, and if they stay in here, there's a high chance that Mario will eat them. Fortunately, I have a couple of tanks ready to be escaped. This is Pamela's old tank, my rainbow boa's old tank. This is storage now, I'll probably use it for something later. This one is my leopard gecko's old tank. And this terrarium has been used as storage if I find some moss outside, if I find some sticks or, plants. There's even some cool mushrooms growing in there. So today we're gonna transform this terrarium into a nursery paludarium for vampire crabs. I've cleaned out the tank now as good as I could get it. So this is an Exoterra terrarium. It can hold water up to here and it's 90 centimeters long, 45 centimeters high, 45 centimeters deep. And it already has a background. This was the first 3D background I made myself, with expanding foam. To me, at that time, 1 year ago, I was like, ooh, whoa, expanding foam, super cool. And I even carved it a bit and put some moss here and there. And I stopped there because I thought, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Many people really liked the setup, but many people hated the setup with a passion.
Das Thema, wer hell würde, ich bin behaupten. Sand, Höhle, will macht leicht, dein Ruchen ist ekelhaft.
It basically means that he thinks that it's disgusting. Anyway, let's continue. So if I'm totally honest, the background truly looks like shit. In order to fix that, we have to do some background carvation. Okay, so this is where we're at right now with the background. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hole, a bit randomly. I'm gonna smear everything with clay and then the crabs could chill inside here, somehow with some moss and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what the background looks like at the moment. And the clay that I'm using is called, in Swedish, nekroslära, which literally translates to water lily clay. Or water lily clay. So I found it at my local aquarium store, but you can probably find it at a garden center. I'm also going to use some Stone Desert Outback Red from Exoterra. Doesn't have to be red. This is basically clay somehow. I'm using it because I had it laying around and I needed more. I didn't have enough lily clay, so. And there's no right recipe here. It depends on what you're gonna do. I mean, you can get clay that is this consistency that you can kind of mold into whatever you want. You can use this as a paint, if you just wanna cover something lightly. I want it to be something in between. I wanna have a good layer so that I can press the moss slightly into it, so it sticks. Okay, so the clay is ready. This is the consistency I'm going for, something smearable. With the background ready, I could now visit my nephew for a little plant foraging adventure. Visa vägen Ezio.
Ditåt. Du måste hacka de där pinnarna.
Hacka pinnarna.
Så här ska de. Hack, 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 hack.
Hack, 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 hack. He led me straight into the forest and helped me find plant number 1. And this is called wood sorrel, and you can actually eat it. The second plant he found is called fern, and we found many different kinds of them.
Varför pratar du inte?
Vi behöver inte prata alltid.
Varför?
Ibland är det skönt att bara ha lite musik på i bakgrunden.
Man har ju inte musik på.
Jag ska lägga till musiken sen.
Okej. Vi måste lägga ut härifrån.
Ja. En sekund, ja. Kommer det, ja. Måste bara ta harsyran. This is very cool. You take everything with the moss, with a little bit of bark.
Nu finns det inga stormtroopers.
Okej.
Och ingen doftvägg.
Okej, då fortsätter vi.
Det kommer flera stormtroopers.
Åh nej, vi måste skjuta dem med kanonen. This river always fascinates me. It's like a blackwater river. Look at those roots in the water there. I want to create an aquarium that looks like that one time. Kolla ett så. Svampar.
Det är röksvampar.
Ska vi se om den sprängs?
Ja.
Var visar vägen?
Hej. Vi ska kolla på det här.
Är där en röksvamp ett så? 1, 2, 3.
Jag ska göra det igen.
Gör det igen.
Här är en till.
Men titta så fin mossa vi har här vet jag. Denna vill jag ta med mig hem.
Det är toaletten.
Definitely gonna take some of this moss. Splätte det i ansiktet på dig vet jag. This is very nice, but I need to find another plant that's a little bit down the river. So let's go. This is a true Paludarium. See this right here, I just sacrificed my gun shoes. This right here is called water crest. It's actually an edible earth. It's very delicious, very peppery, but we're not going to eat it. We're going to use it in the terrarium, of course. It's even growing in this little log. So it's now the next day and I've cleaned up the tank a bit. I also removed a bit of the background because the background was too close to the drainage layer, meaning that the background would be soaked in water constantly. And since I had some soil and botanicals and stuff like that, I didn't want to have that in the water. The next step would be to add in the stone wall now, the retention wall. This substrate is a mix of sand, a little bit of moss, and a little bit of topsoil, organic one of course. been 3 days now since I touched this tank and it's looking amazing. The first thing I'm noticing is the wood sorrel. They're fully opened now. When I put them in here, they will close down. But it's natural, they do that when the lights are off. Another thing I'm really happy about is the water cress. It's looking super good. I'm really happy that I picked this plant. One of my favorite plants to eat as well. It's very peppery, and the fact that you can have it in your paludarium is just amazing. Now we have 2 edible plants in here if we get hungry. We also have some watercress over here and over here. So in time it will probably take over the whole water section here. The ferns are also looking very good in this corner, but these ferns are not doing very well. I don't mind that some leaves are brown and some leaves are, yellow. Why do you always need to bother me when I'm filming? All in all, this tank is looking extremely good. But there's one more plant I like to add, and for that we need to go into the garden. The plant I'm looking for is over there. It's down here. It's this one. I do not know the name of it. As you can see, it's creeping like this, like creeping fig leaf. You see, it's creeping all the way here, creeping down here, taking over everywhere. Instead of spending $20 on a plant, I'm just gonna harvest some of this for free. See him on the little leaf right there? So I'm looking over the tank right now and I can't really see any of them, just the ones that I put in. Like there's one on the leaf there. But we basically have 31 crabs in here now and I can only see one. So you know what I'm saying? If you can see one, there's probably 30 hiding. Let's close this up and we'll come back in a week and see what's happened. It's been about a week now, I think even more than that, 10 days or something, and there's been crazy developments. And one thing that makes me extremely happy is the watercress. It's just taking over. I mean, look how tall it's growing. The wood sorrel is sending out new leaves, even there. All these are new leaves. The garden plant is sending out runners to the water. And this is another plant that I added off camera. Kind of looks like a tropical plant that you would pay $10 for or $20, I don't know. This fern is all new growth, as you can see. It's very light green color. We have a little bit of mold on this rock. I think it's because of lack of ventilation. I'm gonna remove some of the bubble wrap up top here. We also have a little bit of mold on the wood, but yeah, as I said, I'm gonna take care of that. But I'm super happy on how this turned out, and I'm really glad about the watercress. I can't stress that enough. I could just eat it if I wanted to right now. As you can see here, the watercress is just taking over. But here we have one of the garden plants wanting to join the watercress party. Same thing here, we got a watercress party going on. And then we have the salvinia taking over here as well. I just put a few in here 10 days ago and look at it, how it's taking over. And I found even more babies that we're gonna add right now. Some of them are so small that you can't even see them. There we go, that's one, that's two, that's 3 and 4. And they're all different sizes as well. Just look how small some of them are. They're so small you can't even see them. Where did he go? That's him right there. Hey, no fighting. Look at the difference between those two. Some fish food there for them to eat later.